Who is your favorite dancer in dance? Who is your favorite deity in dance? Om Namo Ganeshaya Namaha. Ask any classical dancer the question, who is your favorite god for stage, starting a performance? Invariably they will answer in unison that it is Ganesha or lovable Ganapati. Among the Shanmarga schools of thought, Ganapatiyam deals with the worship of Ganesha as the Nirguna Brahman or the main presiding deity. Similar to other gods in the Hindu pantheon, Ganapati or Ganesha has multiple forms and probably the most versatile and loved. He is depicted in the most abstract form for to the imaginative. In the most abstract form, he is depicted like an inverted cone or pyramidal shape made of turmeric, and there are arrangements of flowers, leaves, etc. that take the form of Ganesha. Keeping with the times, he is the friendliest image as well, where he is sculpted as playing cricket, working on a laptop, so on and so forth. Thus, it is no wonder that the form of Lord Ganesha dancing in full regalia has captivated the philosophers and the sculptors of yore. Compared to Shiva's dance, which is more cosmic in intent, Ganesha's dance is, in contrast, more sportive. It's a sport. Lord Ganesha is a natural born gifted dancer, as he is the son of Shiva and Parvati. He inherited the balanced mixture of Tandava and Lasya. His dance is said to be forceful yet delicate at the same time. In Ganesh Purana, Ganesha's dancing skill is mentioned in the Krida Kanda, where Lord Shiva was delighted at the sight of Ganesha dancing. According to Linga Purana, Ganesh started dancing as soon as Shiva created him. In the Buddhist and Tibetan depictions, he is often shown dancing, and according to historians, the dancing Ganesha was a popular concept in North India, from where it was adapted in Nepal and then to Tibet. In Sanskrit, the dancing Ganesha is called Nrita Ganapati, emphasizing on the dancing aspect of this form. And indeed, there are many forms of Nrita Ganapati that one may witness in India. As Ganesha is a remover of obstacles, it is customary that he is revered first in all classical dances. Although he originates from the Shaivite pantheon, being the son of Shiva, he is revered at a start of Bhagavata Mela and Kuchipudi performances that have predominant Vishnu or Krishna based themes. Why is Ganesha dancing? According to Sodasha Ganapati, 16 forms of Ganesha philosophy, the first form of Ganesha is one dancing. Since he dances below the Kalpavriksha tree, the tree that bestows all wishes, dancers invoke Ganesha to remove hurdles and ask for his blessings to make the performance a success. In some sculptures, he is seen dancing with accompanists and under a mango tree, indicating fertility. Nrita Ganpati also appears in the compilation of gods' images by the kings of Mysore in the 19th century. This compilation called Sri Tattva Nidhi lists the various forms of Hindu gods who are worshipped more frequently in the erstwhile Mysore state. There is also an interesting story about Nrita Ganapati. Ganesha once bumped into Lord Brahma on his way, and this shocked Brahma and made him angry. He threatened Ganesha with a curse. In order to please Brahma, Ganesha started dancing. In spite of Ganesha's huge body, big belly, his dance evoked grace, and seeing his swift movements, Brahma was pacified, forgave this incident, declared that Ganesha as the master of dance. Thus, dancers, even though depict Ganesha in Abhinaya as a pot-bellied and as a dwarf, they are instructed to dance with grace and firm spine while dancing about Ganesha. This will not lead to the audience to nitpick on the anatomy of Ganesha. Attributes of dancing Ganesha. Visit any temple built in ancient India and one could see beautiful images of dancing Ganesh every now and then. The Government Museum Jhansi houses the largest number of sculptures of dancing Ganesh in the South, Halabid shows the pinnacle of Indian sculpture, where a Nritya Ganapati is flanked by musicians and other accompanists. According to Shilpa Shastra, the dancing Ganesh should conform to some basic tenets. He has 8 hands and holds the following 7 items: Pasha, Ankusha, sweets, Danta, tooth, Valaya type of bracelet, and Angulya ring. The free 8th hand depicts the movements of the dance. To show the dynamism of dancing, the left leg should be slightly bent and resting on a Padmasana, lotus footrest, and the right leg bent and raised above the ground. In some sculptures, such as the one in Mukteshwara temple, Odisha, he holds a cobra with 2 of his hands above his head. There are some variations in how Ganesh is depicted by ancient artists. In stone sculptures, he is usually accompanied by 2 or more musicians, and this type of representation is more common in North India. In the South Indian bronzes, he is dancing alone. In the Central Indian depictions, he is shown as a hefty personality and having a slow gait. He is accompanied by a large number of musicians and does 2 different movements using his multiple hands. Also in sculptures that depict the matrikas, 8, either 7 or 8, Saptamatrika or Ashtamatrika, Ganesh is depicted. He is in the same pose as the matrikas. Thus, in the most sculptures where the matrikas are dancing, Ganesh is also seen dancing. In few Saptamatrika sculptures, Shiva is also seen as part of the group. According to Abhinaya Darpanam, compiled by Dr. P.S.R. Apparao, there are Samyuta Hasta, using both hands, mudras defined in texts other than Natya Shastra, and Abhinaya Darpana of Nandikeshwara. In these other texts, the mudra Talamukha, Talam palm, Mukha facing, is described as having Vinayak or Ganesha as its presiding deity. The hasta is denoted by having both hands raised face to face and not touching in front of the chest. Thus, the 2 palms are facing each other. Another Samyukta hasta that is attributed to Ganesha is Dvirada hasta, where the left hand is at shoulder level, it is in Pataka, and the right hand is in Ala Padma and pointing downwards. This hasta denotes the trunk of an elephant and also to the Ganesha. Iconography and symbolism of Ganesha. In Maharashtra, the festival of Ganesha was used to hold public meetings during the freedom struggle of India. From then onwards, the Ganesha festival is celebrated in this state for 10 days, and on the final day, the images are immersed in water, be it a lake, river, or the sea. There are community festivals for the deity, wherein the images are made several feet high and are dressed in costumes and surrounded by scenery. The Ganesha may be seated on the snake with the hoods as an umbrella, or image made completely of bananas, and there are other variations. The sky is the limit. In such instances, the spiritual and religious symbolism gets diminished and the image portrays the populist mood. The predominant concept that envelops the form of Ganesha is that of Om, which is known as the Pranav or the premier esoteric sound that precedes all creation. The reason for this is the shape of the trunk, which curves in such a manner that it represents the curve of Om in both Sanskrit scripts and Tamil scripts. The image of Ganesha traditionally has a body with a short stature and a head of an elephant. The trunk may be curved to the left or to the right. In some communities, the image with the trunk curved to the right, Valampuri in Tamil, is rare, and the rituals must be followed very strictly for such an image. In some instances, Ganesha is depicted with the third eye on the forehead like Lord Shiva. The third eye symbolizes the higher powers of the Supreme, meaning that even when on earth, Ganesha dwells in eternity. Ganesha has 2 tusks, and the right one is broken. The 2 tusks represent the pairs of opposite forces such as pain and pleasure. The right one is broken, which suggests that with an effort, an individual is able to free himself from the trap of the opposites. The right tusk held in the lower right hand as a writing implement symbolizes the creative powers acquired by a man of spiritual wisdom. The figure is generally in the sitting posture and the body is huge like that of an elephant with a big belly. The large belly of Ganesha shows that he can hold anything, that the entire universe is in him. Around the waist is tied a serpent that symbolizes the control of all energies and serpent power of all universes. Ganesha is depicted with four hands, of which one of the upper hands has a nose or pasha, which is symbol of attachment at a sensual level. The nose is also a device by which the Lord controls these attachments because unchecked senses exhaust the energy. The other hand has the parashu or the battle axe, maru in Tamil, or anukusha, elephant goat, which controls the emotions of compassions. Of the lower hands, one has the sweet tooth called modaka, and the other is in varada hasta or boon giving gesture, varad or vardhan. Modaka is a special sweet that is a must for the puja of Ganesh, and it represents the sweetness of living. Modaka reminds man that eternal bliss is available to him and is present in his own hands and for him to find. It is made of jaggery and very refined flour. Ganesha's vehicle is a small mouse called Mushika, and as a paradox, this small animal supports the huge body of the deity. The mouse is an earthy animal and it lives in the holes and crevices of earth. According to Indian philosophy, consciousness is latent in the grains of earth and it emerges in an active state first through the lowest of life forms and intelligence in its early expressions in the lowest vertebrates. Thus, the mouse symbolizes the primitive intelligence and state of consciousness. The elephant is a symbol of strength and wisdom. So, the elephant head represents expanded consciousness. All these arise from the primary state of thought, which is represented by the mouse. Ganesha, worshipped as an inverted cone or pyramid made of turmeric, is linking to the past, where Parvati must have made the image of Ganesh from turmeric, a condiment used by women while bathing. Also, turmeric is an auspicious symbol. In the worship of any deity, one of the common offering is the coconut broken in two. However, for Ganesha, the vow to break the coconut is taken for fulfillment of any desire or goal. Human intelligence is confined to environmental knowledge. This conditioning is like a shell which insulates the mind from gaining higher knowledge. When the coconut is broken on the stone, the shell of conditioning is symbolically destroyed on the stone of spiritual inquiry. A word of note is that even the symbolic interpretations are not derived from a strictly coded reference. Rather, it is the devotees and the seers who, according to their various levels of understanding, interprets the symbolic aspects and attributes of Ganesha. In Bharatanatyam, dancer depicts Ganesha with the Kapitva mudra on both hands, where the right hand is pointed up and the left hand is pointed downwards. Both the hands are positioned distantly from the body and the right leg is in Anchitapada, lifted toes with heel placed on the ground. This hand position is part of the Devahasta as described in the Abhinaya Darpana of Nandikeshwara. In the Tiruvarar temple, there is documented evidence of Devdasis dancing Shuddha Nritta or pure dance in front of the Ganesha shrine during the Sayaratchai Puja, which is from evening 4 to 6 pm. This Shuddharantrata was performed as part of the daily ritual. Also specific to Tiruvarar was the Devdasi performed the Muthuswami Dikshita Kriti on Sodasha Ganapati. Similarly, in the Tirutharani temple of Lord Subramanya, dance was performed in front of the Uchi Pilliyar or Ganesha shrine. The Navasandhi Kautvam is popular in Bharatanatyam. Nava means 9 and Sandhi means junction. Represents the 9 guardians or cardinal spiritual directions. The songs in praise of them are Navasandhi Kautvam, although Ganesh is not part of this. He is rightly invoked before performing Navasandhi Kautvam. However, as part of the Panchamurti Kautvam, Ganesh finds a place. In this, Ganesh is praised as a nephew of Narayana or Vishnu. According to Hindu mythology, Parvati is Vishnu's sister and remover of obstacles. The Ganesha Kautvam follows the same format of other Kautvams, where the Sholukattu or rhythmic syllables are recited, followed by lyrical passages recited and then sung. The Kautvam ends with Cholakattus that makes this brisk performance. When the lyrical passages are recited, the dancer emotes very basic abhinaya. The most popular Ganesh Kautvam was written by Gangai Muthu Pillai, where he composed the Panchamurti Kautvam. This was performed specially on the day of Shiva and Parvati's wedding day. Due to fast tempo, Bharatanatyam dancers sometimes perform Ganesha Kautvam instead of Allaripu in the Margam. Ananda Nartanam Ganapatiyam is another popular dance composition, a Kirtanam on Ganesh performed by Bharatanatyam dancers. It is composed by Utukadu Subra Iyer. Set in Natai Raga and Adi Tala, it portrays Ganesha as blissfully dancing. What makes this a favorite are the jatis the composer had in the Charanam. Apart from this, Bharatanatyam dancers also dance to Ganesh Kritis composed by Muthuswami Dikshitar and Saint Tyagaraja. The famous violinist and composer Lal Gudi Jayaram's father, Lal Gudi Gopala Iyer, also composed songs that are frequently used by Bharatanatyam dancers. He has composed songs on Ganesha, Kirtanam such as Pranava Mudalaven in Ragam Vachaspati and Rupakatalam, and Inayagulam in Ragam Manirangu and Aditalam. Also, Lal Gudi Jayaram has composed Tilana on Ganesha in Ragam Kanakasudalam in Aditalam. While it is common to perform to a Ganesh Stuti or a Kautvam at the beginning of a dance performance, it is unusual to have a Padavarnam of Ganesha. Two such examples of Varnams on Ganesha exist. Dancer V.P. Dhananjayan has composed the choreographed a Padavarnam on Pilayar or Ganesha as it is called in Tamil Nadu. Vinayaka Varnam, set in Natakaranji Ragam, was performed as part of Ganesha temple consecration in 1982, and since then it has remained a favorite among the repertoire of Dhananjayans and his students. The Varnam has the story of how Ganesh acquired his elephant head, his intelligence, and him winning over his brother Kartikeya or Muruga. Also, dancer Sudharani Raghupati and a student Aruna Subhaya have created a Margam format with Ganesha and Muruga. In this, the Padavarnam on Ganesh Om Ennum Porudu in Hamsadhani Raga and Adi Thala, choreographed by Sudharani Raghupati, showcases some of the legends related to Vinayaka. The dancer Krishna Kumari Narendran has choreographed group productions on Ganesha in Bharatanatyam, Sri Mahaganapati and Sodasha Ganapati. The US-based dancer Jayanti Raman has choreographed a dance drama called Gajamukha that went on a US tour, involved three classical dance styles, Bharatanatyam, Kuchipudi and Mohiniyattam. In Kathak, Ganesh Parans is performed where the bowls of phrases are recited with the percussion instrument, the pakhavaj instead of the tabla bowls. Parans in general can be of many kinds, bol paran, jati paran, ghungru paran, pakshi paran. However, it has been documented that in some cases the Kathak dancer, while performing the Ganesh paran, sketches the outline of an elephant with his or her feet. In Kuchipudi, as mentioned earlier, Lord Ganesh is invoked and the dancer seeks his blessings before the performance in predominantly Vaishnavite dance forms such as Kuchipudi. These are varieties of songs that are employed for this in Kuchipudi, namely the Ganesh Stuti, the Pushpanjali composed by Balamuli Krishna, Jhem Jhem Tanana in Arabi Raga. The Ganesh Pravesadaru or the entrance song of Ganesha is very specific to Kuchipudi, where the dancer opens the performance with this and proceeds to the next composition like the Sabdam. The Ganesh Pravesadaru is set in Raga Hamsadhvani and Adithalam. Similar to the Kautvam in Bharatanatyam, there is Ganesha Kautvam or Kavitam in Kuchipudi. Like in Kathak, here as well, the dancer creates patterns of birds and animals while dancing to the particular song. It is said that C.R. Acharyulu, who is responsible for introducing Kuchipudi in Gujarat, had Ganesha Kautvam as part of special and rare repertoire. According to Mallika Sarabhai, the Ahmedabad-based dancer, the Ganesha Kautvam in Raga Mallika is one of the rarest items in Kuchipudi repertoire. the item used to be performed during Ganesh Chaturthi and is composed in Vinayaka Tala, which is a difficult one consisting of 72 matras. The lyric of the Kautvam describes Ganesha as a child and his dance. The dancer with his feet draws a picture of a Ganesha dancing on a lotus. In contemporary dance and dancers like Veena Pani Chawla's Ganapati, Anita's Ratnam's Gajanana are mentionable. Veena Pani Chawla's production revolved around the various alternate myths surrounding the birth of Ganesh and performed by amalgamation of Kudiyattam and contemporary theatre. There are 7 episodes in total, and there is parallelism employed between Indian and Greek mythologies of Oedipus. While Ganesha is severed by his father Shiva, Oedipus kills his own father. Anita Ratnam's Gajanana, premiered in 1997, uses Bharatanatyam, Terukuthu of Tamil Nadu, folk elements and contemporary theatre. It used inspirations from Puranas and employed abstract concepts and symbols associated with Lord Ganesha.